vortex. So something I keep noticing, and I know that I'm not the only one to notice it. And I've noticed it from the beginning. But finally, the sheep are starting to take note of the fact that the kids are not all right. And it's primarily because of their shit parents. And one of the reasons why I'm so hard on parents is because if you raise a kid and they're not emotionally stable and they can't function in this world and they're not able to take care of themselves and they have all kinds of psychological problems, then yeah, that's gonna screw up the world, you know? So you didn't just suck as a parent. It's like now these kids are gonna be somebody else's problem. You realize that? And the whole reason is because you don't know how to fuck right. So many parents are bringing their kids into this world out of wedlock. And, well, I understand that not everybody is religious. Not everybody's going to wait till marriage to fuck. They probably should wait till marriage to have kids. And the fact that they don't do that, that's a huge part of the reason why so many children are screwed up. So, whether you grew up with a single mom, or maybe your parents end up getting divorced, you know, that's fucked up too. Because we're supposed to be the product of two people coming together, literally, because they love each other. Okay, and it's supposed to be a reflection of God. And if it's not a reflection of that, then it's probably going to be shitty, okay? Now, I don't want to badmouth my friend's children or anything, because it's not their fault. It's not their fault that their parents are irresponsible and made bad decisions, okay? I think that if more people could admit that their parents screwed them up, and if more parents could admit that they screwed their kids up and apologize to their children and say, I'm sorry I beat you with a switch. I'm sorry that I yelled at you unnecessarily. I'm sorry I cussed your ass out. I'm sorry that I embarrassed you in front of all your friends. I'm sorry that I made you stand up in a classroom and say something that wasn't necessary. Like, there's so many things that parents do that are so messed up. And I've seen, like, things happen to other kids, and I'm just horrified. And I'm like, well, at least I don't have parents that shitty, you know? And because of that, I would deny, like, all the emotional abuse that I was experiencing or the neglect or whatever. I've forgiven my parents for a lot of things that they did, but they've also admitted that they screwed me up in certain ways. They admitted that they weren't the best, you know? Many parents will just blame their children. Like, can you believe that? The audacity for a parent to blame their child, who they brought into the world. So, yeah, I see these children that these coworkers of mine bring into work, and they can't even afford daycare. That's how financially unstable they are. And I hate daycare with a passion. Daycare is a communist idea. But I'm just saying that to illustrate like how bad off they are. Like they cannot afford anything. They can't afford weed though. Isn't that interesting? So a lot of these people, they can't afford to do better things for their children. I'm not saying daycare is better, okay? But they bring them here and just leave them in the break room with an iPad or a smartphone to stare at, okay? That's really shitty parenting, okay? Really, really shitty. And the second they start acting up, it's like they'll fucking smack them or yell at them or something. It's like they're a child. They're a child. I feel really bad for babies and toddlers because, you know, they really can't communicate. Like they're crying because we don't understand what they're saying. You know, I think about this all the time in relation to my cats. Whenever they meow at me, I'm like, what are they trying to tell me? And I just don't know because I'm such a bad cat mommy. Like, well, I'm not a cat. I'm not a cat. So it's not my fault. That's not their fault. I need to stop beating myself up over that. Wait. Now I know that people will probably have an issue with me like talking trash about parenting style when I'm not a parent. But I think that cognitively you can make assessments about anything. You know? You don't have to have a cat to know not to put it in the microwave. Okay? You don't have to be a firefighter to know that the job involves putting out fires. Okay? So, anytime that people get mad that you made a statement that criticized them or criticized a parenting style that's obviously not working, it's just lazy. Anytime that you criticize something that's lazy, like when I talk shit about psychiatric medication and jabs and all that shit, it's basically because like I'm pointing out the fact that our society is so lazy. It's fucking exhausting. It's exhausting like living in this world and having to watch all these people self-destruct. And it's like they could have it so much better if they just tried a little bit harder. They just tried a little bit harder. They could have it so much better, but they choose to just live in fucking swine, you know? And I know I'm one to talk, but the thing is, when it comes to my mental health though, like I don't fucking slack, like at all. So when I see people like making terrible parenting decisions and then they're playing the victim about all this stuff that is their fault, you know, they're the ones that chose to have sex out of wedlock. And it's like this friend of mine, it's like she chose to fuck this dude that she knows for a fact was a deadbeat. And now he's acting just like a deadbeat and she's mad about it every fucking day. And I'm like, you're the one that refuses to leave his ass. All because you don't know how to be alone. That is a personal problem. Now I know that women technically aren't supposed to be alone. We're supposed to be a companion for a man. We're supposed to compliment him. That's not happening. People aren't complimenting each other. They're just filling up space, you know? They're filling up space. But if you don't know how to be alone, you're going to be a really shitty partner. And not only that, but you're going to attract really shitty people. Because they're going to pick up on the fact that you don't care that they're a piece of shit. You're just going to keep making excuses for them all because you're sexually attracted to them, which is the totally wrong reason to be in a relationship with someone, let alone bring a child into this world with that person. That being said, I don't want to badmouth the children or anything. I don't want to say the children are mistakes. That's not fair. I love these kids so much, but I see their brains being sucked out by the vacuum of the social media, you know? So very clearly they still believe in abortion.